This, as you latch down, you've just done that to yourself. Like, this is still that way, but this inside opens up. See how they has that? Yeah, this is a question, a very common question. Like people are like, okay, you're projecting your mass forward there when you're doing. Answer is simple. This is always connected to this. So this is always in control. Like the ultimate way, like in Chisau and everything, the aim is, a lot of people talk about it, but not many can do it, is that on impact, even before we touch, my aim is to, like, I want from here to here, I want to own all of this space. I want to be able to affect all of this. So it's like we become one. Sounds a bit, airy-fairy, but we connect, or I connect to him, and as a result, I can control this and that, whereas rather than going like this, my structure has to overtake his structure. Already I'm touching. So if you hold a good structure, don't go sort of yielding floppy stuff. So if you get good structure, if I go like this, like that, that's me trying to find my way around. Whereas same structure, if it's like this, you see how it affects his body. And my aim is in Chisau, even if you're trying to touch my face, I don't care, because it's not a fight. You can do whatever. I'll try to cover my center, but my aim is, even as you're sort of touching my face, yeah, like that, my aim is to still have this. See, with one finger, he's touching my face, but with one finger I can move. So I Chisau with people and they're like, yeah, I can touch his face, I can do that. It's not about that. It's about, while they're thinking that, as long as I feel, I can control them. I can, as that's happening, again, you're touching my face. Yeah, so at that point, keep touching my face. At that point, I can bring him to a punch, I can knee him, I can. But of course, I won't do that in Chisau, because it's like, then ego comes out. But as long as you know for yourself, once you can feel it in Silentau, you can know for yourself. And you just stay quiet when people think, oh, I've got it over him. Okay, you have it over me, whatever. But you know yourself. One time, this is an interesting story, just on the subject. So Yip Man had, when he was teaching, he had this group. There were laborers or something during the day, so they couldn't come to the Yip Man's normal classes during the day, right? So he used to go, and like a few times a week, he used to go to this rooftop and teach these guys. And I don't remember the exact time, but it was something like, 1 in the morning they would start the class, something like that. So Yip Man would do it especially for this group. And at that time, Choshan Tim was living with Yip Man, and he used to always love sleeping early, so he could, because he was training all day. So get tired, sleep early, so he can wake up early and train. But this time, Yip Man said, come with me. So these guys, he went there, and Choshan Tim was telling the story. He said, one of the guys, or most of them were like, we're the private students of Yip Man. They held that sort of, he's by the private group. So there was one, and it was raining, the floor was slippery, and one of the guys, the arrogant one, they didn't know who Choshan Tim was. He was running that whole school, because he was living with him, he was running the whole school. Everyone else knew him, but because they didn't come to the school, they didn't know who he is. So they thought, oh, he's just a newbie, like, little skinny man. So they got what the arrogant one said, be careful, you're going to fall over. Be careful with us, you just sort of like that. And Choshan Tim's like, I'm going to have some fun. So he said, look, all right, let's Chisau. I'm going to punch underneath your foot 3 times. I punch you under your foot 3 times. The guy's like, what? He said, yeah, I'm going to punch under your foot 3 times. I was like, okay, I'll show you. And they start rolling. Of course, I can't do that. But it's along the line of controlling everything here, rather than thinking about Chisau's like this, like that. It's about as you're connecting and control. So they were rolling, and as rolling. So he'll go like that, grab the foot, bring it up, 1. So like that, grab, 2, punches under his foot 3 times. That's rather than going like that on him, or completely crushing him. He thought about how I'm going to show you. I've got full control of you, mate. Yeah. That's what Chisau is about. That's what he was trying to pass on in his Chisau. Yeah? That's why it's called sticking hands. It's not a fighting thing, but it's a very useful thing for fighting. Because if you can have that on before you move, and as soon as you contact, you can retain that, you can control them, then you can do whatever the hell you want. It's not about getting a point. It's about having that, because then that could happen in a grapple or whatever. It's just about before contact having that condition, and on impact having that condition, and then being able to retain it. Therefore, you got control. Therefore, you can do some cool stuff. Yeah? So this one, just have a quick play with this. Straight line. Fingers very relaxed. Common mistakes. So just so, I won't get time to come around to everyone, but common mistakes. We tend to grip from here, keep the wrist straight and pull. Hold strong. Like that. So what I want is you feel the change of my grip, and you sort of say how it feels, right? So from there, I want to go like that, right? As long as you can hold strong still, whatever you want, I'm going like that. Now my wrist is not straight, because this has to come in a straight line, right? So it has to be bent. See how loose it is? So if you do it like this, you guys can see, hold strong. like this, hold strong, yeah, so don't let me come back. Yeah, instead of this, watch this area, like that. And you notice as soon as I do this, watch that. Instead of that, loosen here. Then he has to come. Yeah.
He lets go, you're still going forward.
Again, this is connected to this. So if he lets go, of course, this is always, everything's wanting to go there, but not, because I think there's a misconception of forward force. People think it's that. It's not that. Once this is connected to that, I'll go wherever the hell I want. Well, as long as, if you hold in whatever, let's say we're going like that, if it's not this, forward force is in this. Hold, don't let me move you this way, right? So it's not this. Forward. Okay, you let go. You take your hand away. Take your hand away. Pull your hand away. It's not that. People do that. Take your hand away suddenly. It's not that. Even though like, yes, yeah, I could have hit you. No, I couldn't. Like I was like that. But it's sort of this. So from here, as I want to move you first, rather than going there, this is connected to that. Now, this is very relaxed, and this is just like this. You know, so it's just like that. Now at that point, if you let go, because everything's intended forward, as you let go, you know, it's all of this kind of stuff. You know, because it's very hard to explain. But forward force is not this. It's not this. Take your hands away, please. Take your hands away. So whenever I say take your hands away, it means completely drop your hands, right? So let's say put some force on me. Now take your hands away. People think that's forward force. It is not. If you're doing that, if I take my hand away, you hit me, right? So if I take my hand away, boom, hit. Or this one, if I take your hand away, hit me, okay? If forward force is that, then that's going to happen. As you're thinking you're coming there, the other person will clear it. Because that's just like linear, pushing, structural, elbow forward type. It's tension. It's not connection. It's forward pushing constantly. Hence, we back it up with a lean. If someone's doing this, right? Now, you try to move me back. Try to move me back. No, move me back. Oh, okay. Yes. That's why I can do this. We see this a lot in the, or that. Now, if you take your hand away suddenly, take your hand away. See, I could have had you. And they walk away. Yeah, I could have had that. And they think that's forward force. It's not forward force. Forward force is soft. It's from here. Your limb tail is connecting to them. Even before you move, it's like this. So the difference is like this, like that, compared to this is forward force. Legs can go, arms can go. So it's an intention that stems from all of this using this part of the mind. It is not a thought.
Yeah, it's connecting your spine to their spine.
Yeah, and that's the reason why sometimes in sparring, when we go, when we're sparring with another style, if you guys do, you might find yourself, or you might see in a video, because if it's a thinking of forward, as soon as the person's moving like that, you're sort of going like that. You know, at that point, you can see I can't kick. I can't kick. Compared to, okay, so as we're fighting, so it's like that. Even if it's like this or like the stance doesn't matter, but it's sort of like that, you know, backwards, forward. So from here, everything can kick. You can move out of the way. So it's like that, and it's massful. Yeah. People, first of all, compliant students is rather necessary. Second is because they haven't got, like some people say, okay, I touch you and you're stuck to me, or I stick to them and then I can start to, move them and stuff like that. But I don't believe that that's true, and I don't believe that that's possible, that by touching someone, you have completely immobilized their body. I can give you the right kind of force if you're touching me and putting some force into me, and I can go, oh yeah, I can feel like I can't move. But really, if you keep doing that, it's impossible that you can't do that. No one can do that. Yes, yeah. But the thing with that is, I can go like this, no doubt. They can't stick to you if you can run away. They can't touch you and you're stuck. That's BS, right? But when we say sticking, ours is like in Chisau, I'm putting all of that forward. I'm connecting this to this and going forward. Now you can sort of take your hand down, but especially if it's here, you can take your hand down, take it away, but you wouldn't want to. Like if you feel like that's dangerous. Whereas here, you're okay to take your hand away, right? Because it's not really coming at you, and you could take your hand away and do something. Yeah, it's been held, or if I'm linking to you this way, it's not really that dangerous, compared to that. That's coming at you, and that's the Chisau way. So, to answer your question, our force is picking up and affecting their weak points naturally and automatically. We don't have to think like in Chisau, he's doing that, I better put more pressure on his shoulder or whatever. Yeah, you're just connecting this to that and doing what you're doing, but naturally whatever needs to pick up, will pick up. Whatever's happening. That's what Chisau's for. That's the real forwardness or triangulation at it. It's not about going like that and you hold strong. All right, I can feel and I know from muscle memory and experience that if I use the Bong-Sao circle and I step this way, I can keep that. Now I'm putting pressure on him. That's a well-planned thought thing, but it's not as efficient as doing something like that. And I don't care. And if you let your hands go, yeah, it's actually coming forward. That's more efficient, right? Chisau. Even if it's light, let's say we're Chisauing like that. Even if it's light, in my mind, that's what my Bong-Sao is doing. It's very light. It's not affecting you much, but in my mind, that's how I'm shielding myself and closing gaps, rather than being like this, or yielding, or things like that, right? Like that, you can see that if you do something, if you latch me down, I can start to do something like that, you know? Whereas like this, as you latch down, you've just done that to yourself, like the exercise we just did. Can you see how we can link all of that into Chisau? Let's try Bong-Sao.
When you Chisau, do
Yes.
you like, you know, some people are here and they're really
Yeah, I don't
quite
recommend
tight.
that. Yeah, I don't
And
recommend.
when you open up, like,
Yeah.
is it good to open?
Open up, but not to a point. Feel the difference. Open up, but not to the point I'm doing this. Now I'm opening up, but it's like I'm rolling around the ball. So that's why my force is going there. So you can open it, because we just like for the Bong-Sao we just said, the openness can come from this joint, right? But you feel the difference. You hold it, you feel the difference. Not like this. Now it's pressing out that way. This has got nothing to do with this joint. That's separate joints. So that can go like that, but that can go like this. So they can be open out here, but still keeping that piercing quality in the end.
So
Yeah, but here, so for here, if you could keep Tansao. Yeah. So make sure that that's not happening. So you still got the piercing. A good way of explaining is like that. So as I'm pushing in, right? If you open up that shoulder, but see how when you open up that shoulder, I could push into the elbow. So if you do it on me, not like this. So see how by doing this, I've created a platform for you to push in. It's this is still that way, but this inside opens up. See how that has that effect. It's on him. Yeah, you're pointing like it's like you've got those like the little you know, that Spider-Man, the villain Spider-Man that's got this octopus man. You've got those octopus things already there, and then you can joint movement is like sending an electricity through that. So you're already connected, and then whatever you do, whatever you move or do, just injects force into that. Not that you're out here doing that. If you're out here doing that, you should do boxing, because you should evade, move back, come forward, work your way in, change the stances, stuff like that. But if you're using Wing Chun in that way, it's not going to work. It's not the best way of using. That's what Choi Shun Tin's way of training, always calling. That's why in Chisau, he only defended. And that's my style as well. Sometimes in seminars I show offense, but usually I just like to defend. So because if you can put your mass on the person and the person burns out in 5 minutes, it's not as good as if you can, like, especially if it's your student or someone not as good as you. It's not. It's better if you can still cover yourself and stuff, but be light, so you can give them space to do their cool techniques. Then you've got some good, real, you know, nice techniques coming your way, offense attacks coming your way, and you can use that same lightness to try to perfect your defense. Whereas if you shut them down straight away, then they can't give you a nice offense. Then it's a waste of a training partner. They're not your enemy, they're your training partner. So if you want to shut them down, they both lose. But if you're better than them and you give them space and you defend more, every now and then you can attack, you know, but if it's just